Hello, welcome. Russell Nollen here. Thanks for joining me. I'll be your guitar instructor here for the while. In this lesson, I'll show you the best way for you to play your guitar. Included in this lesson, we'll discuss posturing your body, hands, holding your guitar, holding the plectrum, some do's and don'ts, and at the end of this lesson, I'll show you a simple exercise that will help you establish your technical approach for the rest of your life. The foundation of all guitar technique is proper hand position, which requires correct posture and positioning of the guitar. If you choose to play while seated, make sure that your back is straight up and down and that your shoulders are level. Imagine if this were your pelvis and if this were your sternum. You wouldn't want to twist it either way. You wouldn't want to lean it either way, and you wouldn't want to be bending it either way. Remember, spine straight up and down. Now, let's work on positioning the guitar in a seated position. As you are seated, you'll want to have your left leg's knee elevated slightly higher than your hip. You can get a footstool, something like this, at your music store. Now, put the waist of your guitar on your left leg. You can put the right leg off to your side. Or if you'd like to experiment, you can try crossing one leg over the other. And again, at the end of this lesson, I'll show you an exercise that will help you to solidify your decision. Now, your headstock should be about shoulder level. And for this, tilt it up a little, back a little bit, and the left shoulder on the body should be tilted back a little bit further in towards your chest than the right shoulder on your guitar. Notice how natural this is. If you think about the crude muscle movements in your left arm, from the biceps, triceps, back and forth, the deltoids in your shoulder, or the rotors, you'll notice how natural and easy this flows. Now, if you move away from this position, you can still play it. We're here to show you the best way, not just any way. Now is a good time to put the strap on. If you play while seated, it's not absolutely necessary for you to have a strap. If you play while standing, it's absolutely necessary. Stand up with the strap on, and then sit down without touching your guitar. It should fall roughly in the same place. You should not have to manipulate it into position. Remember, bring the guitar to you, don't go to it. The plectrum, or commonly known as the guitar pick. Now, if you think about this being held straight up and down, this goes between your thumb and your forefinger. Think about your thumb being parallel to the earth or the floor, pick straight up and down. And I'll show you from some various angles, like so. Hold it firmly but gently, and all of the knuckles curved over. Something else regarding picking technique, little do's and don'ts. Something you don't want to be doing is bending that thumb knuckle backwards, like so, or any knuckles. I see a lot of players who will also bend knuckles like that, or popping tendons out, or fanning fingers out, like so. Doing so will cause a little restriction in your playing, and will also cause a little tension in the back of your hand. Another general rule when it comes to guitar technique is not to go to extremes. So as much as you don't want to bend knuckles backwards or fan them out, you also don't want to clench a fist in. This goes for right hand technique as well as it does for left hand technique. Keep it natural, keep it relaxed. Firm but gentle. Also, when it comes to the wrist, you want to keep this pretty much straightforward natural, easy, and relaxed. You don't want to be bending that backwards, like so, or overly arced up and over. You want to position your hand just in front of the bridge saddles. In the future, when you're going to mute strings, damp them, or muffle them, your hand will already be in position. You won't have to make alterations, jump back and forth. Your fretting hand's fingers are numbered. First finger, second finger, third finger, and fourth finger. Your thumb is just called your thumb. Keep your fingers curled over in a natural position, relaxed as if holding a big ball. Again, do not deviate from this position. Do not bend any knuckles back. If so, you'll feel a little tension and restriction in your playing, especially if done to extremes. Now, your strings are also numbered. First string, second string, third string, fourth, fifth, and sixth string. Remember, little string, little number, big string, big number. Your frets are numbered. This is your first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, etc. Now I'll play the exercise for you, and in a moment I'll explain it to you in detail with close-up footage. Here goes. Now let's take a close-up look at the left hand. You notice that the fingers are arched as if holding a ball or a bubble, like I mentioned before. As each finger is pressed down on the string, it's done so firmly just behind the fret. And the reason this is done like that is if you think about the string, it's vibrating from one hard contact point to another. And when you're pressing down the string, just behind the fret, you're changing where the string's vibrational contact point is. Now we'll take a close-up look at the right hand. If you'll notice, the pick is being held straight up and down, not tilted either way. And in this exercise, we use only downstrokes. And in this case, down meaning towards the floor, since it's not in reference to any pitch. Now, I'll play the exercise for you one more time, but keep in mind there's a catch, and I'll point that out to you after it's done. All right, now as you try this, bear this in mind. here's the catch. As a finger goes down, it stays down. This is going to be a little tricky at first. I'll make it look easy because I've done this a lot of times and for a long time. But there's a couple motives for why we're doing this. First of all, if you think about playing from the end, just think about placing the fingertips where they need to go, on the string, just behind the fret. And if you tack them all down, just like so, in a proper position, you'll notice that you cannot wiggle them very far. There's not a lot of room to move. So, in essence, you're locking your fingers onto your guitar strings, onto your fretboard, the best way possible. In order to get that way, be patient with yourself. Think of this also as an opportunity for you to continue to remind yourself to keep your posture straight, to wiggle the guitar a little up, a little more down, a little more back, a little more forth, however you need to go in order for you to get there. And remember again, too, to bring the guitar to you, don't go to it. I've seen a lot of players who will contort themselves out of position, struggling and straining to get this. Don't ever do that. Just remember, bring the guitar to you, don't go to it. Keep your posture straight, spine straight up and down, shoulders level. Don't twist, turn, or bend or tilt in any strange ways. Keep your posture and your hands natural and relaxed. Every hand's a little different. Every guitar is going to be a little different. So we're going to set you up to play the best way for you on your guitar. And here's how this is going to be done. The other motive for this exercise is that early on, this is pretty new to you. Or if you've been playing for some time with bad technique and bad posture, this will help you to solidify a foundation for better technique. The best technique for you and your guitar, your hands, really. Think about this. Your hands are feeling for themselves using muscle memory exactly how far apart these frets are and exactly how far apart these strings are. Try this exercise a couple times a day before practice and once after practice. Remember, keep trying this. Take your time. Be patient with yourself. Keep it natural and relaxed. I hope these tips have been helpful to you. If you have any further questions, feel free to email me here. Thanks again for joining me here. I look forward to seeing you very soon again.